Do you have a Gen 3 Can-Am Outlander, non-XMR model, and you're looking at adding some snorkels to it? Check out these Warrior risers. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fully install them from start to finish. First thing I like to do when doing any install is to get all the parts out of the box, lay them out, make sure you have everything. So we're going to have our breather hoses to go all to your vent lines. Make sure you have all your piping, your bracket for mounting the snorkels, and then your snorkel risers, and then your hardware as well. And then you have your instruction manual. So I always like to get your instruction manual, go through it, make sure you have everything you need, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to show you guys how to do this step to step. We're going to start by taking the machine apart and then slowly put it back together. We're going to start by removing the seat and the side panels. So just going to pop your seat off here. Side panel's going to have a clip there, a pull, and then that's going to come straight up and out. And then do the same thing on the other side as well and get that panel off. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the gauge cluster and this cover here. You're going to have these two pins on top, and then you're going to have push pins on the side. Going to push those in, lift up, and we are just going to set that to the side. Now you're going to remove all the plastic push darts on the side panels. There's going to be 4 on each side. On this side, there's 1, 2, 3, and then there's 4 down here. This model has a skid plate here. Your model may not have the foot skid plates. To get those out, you're going to pop that side cover off and then do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go ahead and remove the gauge cluster out of this console here. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 T20s and 2 plastic push darts on the top. Once you get everything loose, you're going to have a little red pull up. You're going to have to pull that up, and then you're going to be able to push in and pull that connector off. You're going to have a little white connector in here. That's going to have to come off, and then pull these out so you can pull everything out and get all the electrical out of the way. Now you're going to go ahead and cut this zip tie right here and pull this intake tube off of here. Now you're going to go ahead and loosen your clamps on your intake and exhaust for the belt. Loosen these clamps so you can pop these tubes up out of the way, and then I'll show you how to get them out from there. All right, to get the belt plastic or rubber tube out of the way, you're going to have a push pin here and then a zip tie here. Pull that push pin, cut that zip tie out, and then you'll be able to finagle and get that rubber piece out. So once you get this rubber piece out of the way, this plastic piece is going to be up there. You could probably keep these connected and get it all out. I found it easier just to remove this and then pull this out. This is really just rested up in here, and you just got to kind of wiggle it until it comes out. There's a zip tie up here. I'm going to cut that zip tie out so it's not just dangling up there, and get that out of the way as well. All right, so to get this lower rubber piece out, you're going to come over to the right side. There's going to be a hose clamp on this side. You're going to remove that hose clamp, pop this off, and you'll be able to finagle that rubber piece out and get that one out, and then we'll work on that top piece from there. You're going to have 1 push pin down there on the belt intake. You add that pin out, and then we'll start to be able to get that the intake to be able to start coming up and out of there. There's also a zip tie down here. I cut that zip tie so you're not fighting that zip tie. Next, slowly, I already did this, but you're going to take a 3-inch hole saw and slowly cut out about like you see there. So it's not going to be a full circle. It's going to be right next to the fuse panel here. Watch out, there is a bar here, so that's why you want to be careful. Just go through slowly. I kind of started on this side, put a little pressure on it, and went through, and then you're going to have to break these tabs off once you get through, because otherwise you're going to hit this metal and drill through that, and you don't want to do that. I also unplugged this harness here just so it was out of my way, so I didn't have to worry about hitting the wiring there. So you're putting back together, you're going to start with the intake side. Make sure you reuse the factory clamp for the big oval end. And then you're going to go ahead and put this pipe in, or the adapter in, tighten that up. Get this put in place, then we'll get this one tightened, and then we'll move to the next step from there. Now you're going to take this hose tube here, and this one's going to mount to the intake lower that you just put on, and it's going to come up through the top. I'll show you what it looks like when it gets mounted up, but make sure you put your hose clamp on first, like so you're not fighting yourself later. I do recommend leaving this hose clamp loose, so when you run the other ones up, you can finagle it around until you're done, and then make sure you go back through at the end and tighten all the clamps up. Tighten the box, or the ones that go to the belt box, up right away, because those can only go on one way. Now we're going to go start running the belt exhaust. When you put this clamp back on from the old one, make sure this is on this side. You'll thank me later, because it'll be way easier to get at. Make sure you put this aluminum piece in. You can tighten this one, and then we'll run them from there. Next piece we're going to put on is going to be this tube. It's going to go on like this and come up through. Once I get all the tubes ran, I will get a close-up and show you how all the tubes actually look in there. Make sure you put your hose clamp on, again, before you actually put this tube in place though. Now you can go ahead and slip the intake hose over the engine air intake where you took that one off of. Again, I'm going to leave that clamp loose until I get everything lined up where I want it, so I can make sure everything fits good. Alright, now it's time to extend all your vent lines. Your rear diff transmission ones are going to be here. This one's going to be your fuel line. Your front diff is going to be this one. And then your coolant fan is going to be this one. So you're going to use the brass fittings on your transmission, rear diff, front diff. And then there's going to be a plastic one that's going to adapt this to the bigger hose. And then your fuel line is just going to hook to this one, right to this one. Not quite done with it yet, but the bottom piece that holds the gauge cluster in, you're going to want to start trimming that. I'll pull it out here in a second and show you roughly what it looks like. What you got to do, trim everything out so everything these fit up in. I'm going to take a little bit more out on this side, make it look the best you can. And then after that, you're going to want to mount this in. You have to drill 4 holes, mount this in place where you want it, and then you're going to have to drill out or cut out your holes for the risers to come up through. All right, once your gauge cluster is trimmed out, this is roughly what it's going to look like. Take a little bit off at a time. Remember, you can always take more off. You can't add more plastic. And then test fit, trim a little bit, test fit and trim until you get it to where you want it. It's going to take some time to get there. All right, once you get everything ran up through, you're going to go through and put your self-tappers in here. Now, I'm going to be putting a rad relocate in. But the next steps would be putting all the plastics back on, going through and making sure all your clamps are tight everywhere. Now, on yours and mine, there's going to be this plug down here. You need to pull that plug off, and they send you a cap to put over this, because this one allows, as you can see, is more of a breather, so you're going to plug that with an actual plug. That way water can't get up through there. Put everything on. Like I said, just you have to go through and put all your plastics back on, unless you're doing like I am and you're going to put a rad relocate on, which then you probably wouldn't put this on yet anyways. But check that next video out, because we're going to go over how to put the rad relocate on as well. All right, guys, we got them fully installed on the Outlander. Let me know if you guys have any questions on the install, or if there's anything else you guys would like to see on the G3 Outlanders. If you're looking at picking up a set of these snorkels, give us a shout and we can get you set up with them. I'll catch you in the next one, and have a great day.